All right, also tonight, friends gathering to remember a man who they say embodied a desire for peace and change. 5 years after he was killed, 25-year-old Sean Stennett shot to death in Saginaw this day back in 2010. Tonight, there's going to be a vigil in his honor, and TV5's Ronnie Duncan has that story.
A lot of people associated with him with peace and, I'm sorry, hang on.
Even today, some 5 years after the death of Sean Stennett, friends like Elisa Spiker find it hard to talk about. Stennett, a lover of the arts, in his hometown of Saginaw, was fatally shot inside a Saginaw home in 2010. Today, a memorial will be held here at the Counterculture in Saginaw.
I would like to see people come together, period.
Benjamin Champagne was a great friend of Sean's, and he says Sean embodied all the right reasons for such a memorial.
If it's in the name of peace and in the name of, getting together to celebrate somebody's life and the impact of a positive person in the community, that's why I want people here.
We've often heard the expression how art imitates life, but here it's more like art embracing life. And from this quilt that was put together by Elisa Spiker, it's all about continuing the life that was left behind.
He had wonderful potential. He could have done an amazing thing.
Elisa used her creative skills as a seamstress to put together this quilt using parts of Sean's wardrobe.
We took some of his clothes that he left behind and put them together into a colorful, very cozy, very comforting quilt.
Another symbol of this unique artistic expression came through the work of Domingo Roas.
Through my paper making, I thought maybe they would be interested in a project.
Yes, paper from clothing. All of this spectacular and innovative material, it's all art that can be everlasting.
But the actual breaking down of the clothing and turning it into something real.
And that reality is that Sean Stennett life lives on through art. In Saginaw, Ronnie Duncan, WNEM TV5.
Candlelight vigil will be held in Stennett's memory tonight at 7 at Counterculture. That's on Gratiot Avenue in Saginaw.
Let's take a live look now at downtown Flint. There it is, as a few raindrops and snow showers are moving into mid-Michigan. Here's Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman with a look at your forecast. Hi, Brian.
Hi there, Colette. A little bit of a changing slate of conditions, really from location to location throughout the area today on this second day of December. And in some cases, it's starting to at least look a little bit more like normal weather you would see for this time of the year, even with temperatures that are still bent on staying pretty well above average. Here's a look at things tonight. On the First Warn 5 Sky Tracker, we're still dealing with this ongoing low pressure system, which continues to hold on to just enough energy to hang on to some showers. And as you can see there, as indicated on the Sky Tracker, a few of those likely falling as at least some mixed in snowflakes, if not a plain old snow shower in spots. These will be with us for the next several hours. You can see most of them right now in the highest concentration along the western extent of I-69 in the mid-Michigan area through much of Shiawassee County, right up to about the Flint area, and then more off to the north as well. So we'll have these with us likely till about 8 or 9 o'clock. But there's the good news. You look a little bit farther to the west. Nothing but fair weather coming in to replace this system once it's gone. 37 is the current temperature in Saginaw tonight with a fairly modest wind chill down to about 33 degrees. 43 in Flint right now, and that's exactly what it feels like with a calm wind for the time being. 40 in Caro with a wind chill to match, and 39 in Bay City. Again, generally overcast conditions. We'll keep that chance of a few rain or snow showers in likely as far out as about 8 or 9 o'clock. And then just a dry overnight period and the beginnings of a much nicer weather pattern tomorrow. The full details on that coming up in your full forecast.
Brian, thank you. New tonight, 2 suspects behind bars after a robbery at a convenience store. It happened Sunday, 7-Eleven on Old Cuckoldin Road in Bay County. Police say they were able to arrest one of the suspects after another turned himself in. It's still under investigation.
And police need your help tonight tracking down a wanted man. 20-year-old Jakari Young is wanted for felony charges, including assault with intent to murder. He's considered armed and dangerous. If you know where he is, please call Genesee County Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Again, 1-800-SPEAK-UP, and all calls are anonymous.
If you're planning to hit the road for any reason tonight, let's hope you filled up. As you've probably noticed, gas prices a bit higher today, but they're still not nearly as high as they've been in recent months. And as Faith Gantner tells us right now, those low prices are easing the pain at the pump.
This week, Michigan saw some of the lowest gas prices in the country. It's giving drivers something to smile about.
I think it's great. It's wonderful. Better than $4 any day.
And while car owners are keeping a few extra bucks in their pocket, for local business owners, it means a much bigger savings.
Every day I'm at the gas station. That's one thing that I can't get around with owning a business. Obviously, we have to fuel up the trucks, the equipment. If we don't have fuel, we can't go to work. So yes, we're there every day.
Dario Murillo owns The Wash Boys, a landscaping, design, and contracting company in Saginaw Township. His business regularly uses 9 trucks and other equipment that requires a lot of gas.
It helps out a lot for the simple fact when I go to fill up all the equipment, you know, and instead of spending over $500, maybe we're spending less than $500. So yeah, it's easier on the pockets at the time at the pump. But
even though gas prices jumped up about 30 cents today, there's still some of the lowest prices we've seen in years, and business owners say they're enjoying the savings.
I'm sure at the end of the season, when we go to hash out the numbers to see where we're at for the past 5 months, I'm sure it's going to have a big effect on our profit margin.
In Saginaw County, Faith Gantner, WNEM TV 5.
And we'd like to hear from you. Are the low gas prices making it easier for you to travel for the holidays? Share your thoughts on our Facebook page.
Well, last night on TV 5 News at 11, you heard from a woman who says she was mistreated by police officers and a local gas station.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear what police have to say about that. And just in time for the holidays, a satanic display is returning to the Capitol in Lansing. That's at 5:30.
First, the U.S. gears up for action in Iraq, and now we're learning just how many troops will be going there.
Plus, the old newsboys will be soon out and about peddling papers for a good cause, but you can start helping them as early as tonight. More local news now. A Mid-Michigan charity group gearing up for the effort to provide clothes for area children. But the old newsboys are gathering more than just hats, coats, and scarves this year. TV5's Elena Holland has that.
In a week, folks in Flint will begin seeing this familiar sight. Old newsboys selling papers at intersections across the area. It's all to raise money to make the holidays special for local children. But the decades-old organization does more than just this one event. Today we caught up with Chris Hamilton, executive director for the Old Newsboys, to see how their donations are shaping up this year.
Our goal is our motto, let no child be forgotten.
Box after box, each filled with toys and necessities for children in Genesee County. And here in Santa's workshop, these helpful elves begin in November to fill enough for children in need in time for Christmas.
There isn't a week that goes by that someone doesn't come up to me and say, and I would never expect it, And they say, you know, if it wouldn't have been for old newsboys, I wouldn't have had a Christmas as a needy kid.
So far, the old newsboys have helped about 4,000 kids this year, but there's still more to go.
If you help over 793,000 kids since 1924, you're going to touch a lot of lives.
Hamilton says this year will put that number over 800,000 kids helped since the group began, but they could still use a little help.
The big way they can help out is donations.
Hamilton says the donations keep the boxes filled for the thousands of kids they help every year.
We're taking care of a void, and for a young person, there's no greater void than one at Christmas time.
In Flint, Elena Holland, WNEM TV 5.
The Old Newsboys are holding a fundraiser tonight to help local children. It's at Luigi's. It's called the Blue Christmas Party. Everybody who wants to help children have a brighter Christmas is invited. It's at Luigi's Restaurant on Davison Road in Flint from 6 to 10. The food is free, but donations are encouraged.
Well, the founder of Facebook is giving back to the world in a pretty big way. Find out what lifetime pledge he's giving to charitable efforts. That's tonight at 5:30. Plus, the first of many trials over the death of a man in police custody continues in Baltimore. And a kind gesture makes waves on social media. Find out how it all started with this cake.
Disney except Frozen. I don't think so. I don't know what it am. Ben, when's my hit? Didn't I just see him?
All right, we continue to monitor the big story today in San Bernardino, California. Police searching for gunmen after a massacre at a social services center.
That's right. During a news conference moments ago, they said at least 14 people are dead and at least 14 injured. They also said as many as 3 gunmen have gotten away, and they have little in the way of a description to go on.
Right now, a law enforcement source also tells CBS that a bomb squad is in the process of trying to neutralize a potential explosive device left at the scene. We will keep you updated on any new developments on this breaking story.
And we're learning new details tonight about plans to send more U.S. troops overseas to fight ISIS. The Pentagon says 200 special operations forces will be deployed to Iraq. From there, they will conduct raids in both Iraq and Syria. Defense Secretary Ash Carter also says the troops will gather intelligence and hunt down ISIS leaders.
This is an important capability because it takes advantage of what we're good at, and it puts everybody on notice.
And ISIS has seized large parts of Iraq and Syria, where they reportedly have up to 31,000 fighters.
Opening arguments have begun in the case of a Baltimore cop accused of failing to prevent a man's death in police custody.
That's right. 25-year-old Freddie Gray died of a spinal injury in April, sparking protests and riots in the city. Craig Boswell reports.
Officer William Porter entered a Baltimore courthouse on Wednesday for the start of his trial on involuntary manslaughter and other charges. The usual group of protesters was absent outside. Porter is accused of ignoring Freddie Gray's pleas for help after he suffered a spinal injury in police custody. Prosecutors say the 25-year-old was driven around for 45 minutes in the back of a police van without a seatbelt, which violated department policy. He died a week later. Prosecutors said in their opening arguments that Porter is partly responsible for Gray's death because he criminally neglected his duty.
He said he was sick and he needed medical attention, and he didn't get it when he should have gotten it.
4 men and 8 women are hearing the case. 4 are white and 8 are black. Many of them are middle-aged.
The defense was very clear in not wanting younger African-American men on this jury.
150 jurors were questioned and most were dismissed, including Jeanette Payne, who was relieved she wasn't selected.
I do believe it's a lot of stress. It is a lot of stress. I mean, because you're carrying somebody's life in your hand.
Members of the Gray family are attending the trial. Porter will likely take the stand in his own defense. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Baltimore.
Certified most accurate by Weather Rate. Now your First Warn 5 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman.
All right, good Wednesday evening, everyone. A little bit of a varied slate of weather out there across the region today. We've seen a little bit of sun try to filter through the clouds from time to time, but we're still dealing with that same low pressure system we've been tracking ever since Monday. Finally pinwheeling its way across the lower peninsula tonight, but still a couple more hours worth of, we'll call minor headaches to deal with from it. Here's a look at your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar tonight, live from MBS in 3D, and with the core of the low itself now just to the southwest of the area, you can see a couple of showers, mostly light ones, moving into the Flint and Grand Blanc areas and then extending westward along I-69 to about Owasso and just up into southern portions of Saginaw and Gratiot counties. So bear that in mind if your travels take you through those areas, and also be alert along the M55 corridor and areas just to the north of there. We do have a couple of very light sprinkles, and it's not out of the question, as you can see here indicated by the radar a little bit farther south. We're walking that very fine line right along the freezing mark where there's at least a decent chance that some of these rain showers could mix with or even briefly change over to a couple of snow showers. We've even seen a couple of points where the radar thought it was seeing snow over parts of just to the west, I should say, of Shiawassee County. So really just the main point of advice for tonight is just use extra caution on the roads. Here's a quick jump outside. We'll start you off with a live look over Bay City, where the rain holding off for the time being. Current temperature a bit on the cooler side, 39 degrees with a real feel closer to 34 when you factor in a north-northeast wind. Another day where the winds have done a complete about-face, currently at about 7 miles per hour. Heading to the the Flint area now. You can see the roads remaining dry, at least looks mostly dry. If anything, maybe a little bit of a sheen if you look at some of the reflections of the taillights there on I-75. So again, use that caution. 43 degrees in the Flint area and dry for the time being. A little bit hazy or foggy even in the area, though. Currently at about 37 degrees. Back to the maps tonight. Temperatures around the rest of the region hovering, believe it or not, right around where they should be for this time of the year. 36 is the current temp in Houghton Lake, 37 in Mount Pleasant, 39 for Alma, and then some 40s and upper 30s closer to the I-69 corridor and into the Thumb. We had actually touched the low 40s in several locations, but we're now seeing a little bit of a relaxation in the temperatures. Mostly the winds now shifting into that northeasterly direction as we have the low pressure system tracking just to the south of us. But even then, the wind's fairly nominal, so the wind chill's really not all that abrasive as you head out there tonight. So here's the low itself. It's going to continue on its way eastward tonight, pulling all of this activity finally out of the picture with it, and it will ultimately pave the way for that high pressure system, which you see well to the west over the Rockies, to build in over the next several days. And snow lovers, I know it's not necessarily the news you want to hear, but looks like it's going to be a hard sell to get any through at least the next week, though we do have a couple of those, again, lingering showers or isolated flurries out there tonight. And that's mainly what we'll have into the first half of the overnight period. Starting the day off tomorrow, the forecast data is trying to spin a little bit more up in terms of lake effect tomorrow, but I just don't see the moisture there to really see it materialize. In fact, just the opposite. We expect to see are the clouds to start thinning out as the day goes on. Still more clouds than sunshine, but we will at least work some of the sun in. And then Friday, it's mostly sunny, complete change of pace in the weather department, and a beautiful end to the work week. So we'll be down to about 31 degrees overnight. The showers and flurries come to an end by about midnight. And then no major storms on the horizon for at least the next 7 days, and well above average temps all the way through. Sam and Colette, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Brian. New tonight, a cake decorator's artwork is going viral for all the right reasons. It's a very touching story out of Michigan's Kent County, and it seems to be striking a positive chord among all those who hear it. TV5's David Custer joins us from the Social Media Center with the full story and your reactions. David.
Hi, Colette. This is a picture of the cake that Lisa Aldrich bought and had decorated at a Meijer in Kent County. She posted the photo along with the sweet backstory on Facebook. Turns out the worker she asked to decorate this cake is autistic and was supposed to have someone else do the writing. Well, Aldrich didn't know any of that at the time, but she was perfectly happy with the result. Well, store employees thanked Aldrich for being so kind and accepting and said the whole experience probably made the bakery's workers' day. And here's what you've been saying about this on our Facebook page. Well, Carol Witzke says she just loves this story. She wishes she could get the bakery worker to decorate a cake for her. Carrie says she has an autistic child and she wants to thank the wonderfully kind woman that bought the cake and thank her for giving her hope. And Willie thinks the cake looks awesome. He says she should decorate all their cakes. Now you can share your thoughts too. Just post a comment on our Facebook page or tweet us using the hashtag #FastFeedback. Colette, back to you.
Okay, thank you, David, for that. And since making the original post, Aldrich has taken to Facebook again to confirm this was not a marketing ploy. She just wants people to consider being nice to each other.
Temperatures are unseasonably warm as we begin this December.
That's right. Find out what impact that's having on local businesses who need snow to thrive. That's tonight at 6.
First, all the kennels are now empty at this shelter. After a one-day deal on adoptions, they let the dogs out. Next.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Hi Sam, hi Colette. I am on mic 4.
New at 5, here's something you don't see very often. A county animal shelter that has run out of pets to adopt. No dogs or cats are waiting in these shelters at Fort Wayne Animal Care in Indiana. Because largely they had a Black Friday special, pet adoptions just $10, and that low price tag brought out big crowds. Dozens of pets found new homes.